In today's video, Gary is going to go through all of the modifications he's made on his Toyota 4Runner. The upgrades we make to the truck are ongoing, but this is where we are now. We are always coming up with ideas to make our time on the road more comfortable, practical, and convenient so that we can travel and explore the places that we love and be out there longer. Our truck is literally our home away from home.
Okay, so for armor, which we'll start with the front bumper, I am protected by CBI Off-Road. This is their culvert bumper, which I also have installed a Warn 10,000, or it's the Warn Evo 10,000S with the synthetic line, and I got the factory 55 flat link up front. Underneath, we'll continue down, and we've got the front skid plate. It is the steel. It also comes in an aluminum material, but I went with the steel just to match the black front bumper. All right, so we are going to continue down on the side of the vehicle. We've got the CBI sliders with the rear kick out. They have a couple of different variations, but I went with the angled version with the kick out. And for the rear, to wrap up the armor protection, I am also running the CBI dual swing out. This one allows me to carry a full-size spare. On the back side, or I shouldn't say the back side, on the side, we've got the tree savers and room for some chase lights or just rear backup lights, however you want to do it. We've also got the option with the jerry can holder, which is great because we do carry 5 gallons of water, and we have an option to carry 5 gallons of fuel if needed. But primarily, having the water is ideal, especially for us, 2 people and 2 dogs. We go through it quite quickly on a camping trip. I'll go ahead and pop her open for you. It's quite easy to deploy. There's just 2 latches, or I'm sorry, 1 latch and 2 swings. Also included is just a drop-down table. Any counter space is great having when you're camping, especially when it's something you don't have to actually bring or add to the back of the gear list here. And just to put it back in, just redeploy the pull pins on each side. That's a handle with an adjustable latch handle, quick and easy. Okay, so under the hood, what we have here is probably one of kind of an underrated item to have on most vehicles is having your own air compressor. So this is the ARB Twin Air Compressor. I keep the tools to air up in the back. We can go over that here in a little bit. But this is just such a nice feature to have. It's one less thing to have in the truck, and it's under the hood now the way, and it's quick and easy to deploy. This is just the TRD Pro version of their air intake. Not required, but I went ahead and bought it on Craigslist years ago just because. And honestly, I wish I never bought it because it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I would stick with the OEM ones if you can. We'll just kind of start wrapping around. So if you kind of see the cap here, this is actually my windshield wiper fluid reservoir. It's from Ragofab, and it's about a third size of the stock windshield wiper reservoir, because the ones that come in this truck are massive and they take up so much room under the hood. I actually had to remove it when I installed my front coils with the reservoir, and we can go over that here shortly. But I ended up getting this, and it works perfectly. It's very easy to set up and install, but it's just a nice feature to have, just so you have windshield wiper fluid. So up here I have an aftermarket battery. This is an X2POWER AGM battery. This thing has, knock on wood, but this thing has been great for 4+ years. It is just a standard size for the 4Runner. It's a 24F. It powers our fridge, all our lights, with no hiccups on it whatsoever. This thing is well worth the money, and I actually will go ahead and plug in Batteries Plus. This is where I got it, and they always have sales going on, so if you need a battery, I highly recommend this one. All right, up next we're going to go ahead and go over the front suspension and the rear suspension here, along with the wheels and tires. I'm running the 𝐂𝐿 Stage 2 coilovers with the Reservoir. Along with the coilovers, for the upper control arms, I do run SPCs. They're very easy to use, but they're definitely on the budget-friendly side. And as well with the 𝐂𝐿s, I'll go ahead and backtrack a little bit. They are rated at 700 pounds. I went ahead and went with that style because I knew I was going to have a front bumper with a winch and the skid plate, so I just wanted to offset it a little bit, even though it does compromise the ride quality just a bit because it is a little stiffer, but I wanted that insurance of being able to take care of the extra weight up front. Alright, so for the rear, I'm also going to go ahead and I am running the 𝐂𝐿 coils with the Reservoir. As far as the springs go, I am running the Dobinson 701s. Those are they're rated for a stiffer rating, so when you throw on your bumper, throw in your drawers, throw on your tent, all your camping gear, all your water, etc., you really start sagging, and that's just one thing I don't like, is that look of the back end sitting much lower. So far the 701s are doing well for us. I might bump them up to a little bit stiffer rating because once we added the rear bumper, this is quite heavy, so you definitely feel it, and you can see it, especially when we're fully loaded. All right, so we'll move on to the wheels and tires. And when I'm running, as far as tires, I'm a big fan of BF Goodwrench. They're been around for a very long time. They make high quality products. I just recently moved to the BF Goodwrench KM3s. This is their mud terrain. Before this, I actually running the KO2s, which is their all-terrain, and I think I put almost 65,000 miles on those things, and those things were just so impressive. I don't think it'd be so hard for me to get away from this brand just because of the quality that they make. And for the tire size, I'm running 285, 75, 17, and that breaks down to roughly like at 33 and a half, 33.8-ish. So right in that, just below a 34-inch tire. And for the wheels, I've had these wheels for at least 3.5, 4 years. So these are the Stealth Custom Series. The style is the F5, and I went with the deep dish, and these are an offset of -38. So this really pokes the tire out. That's what I was going for. I wanted that aggressive look. I wanted that wider stance for the truck here, and it just looks cool. And I went with their gray color here, and the stickers, those are kind of an afterthought, but I just wanted to put a little bit of color on the truck because this thing is gray on gray, so just a little bit of a touch here. But overall, these tires, they just do about anything you want them to.
Wait a minute.
So this is where we keep everything as organized as possible, just to make camping and road trips a lot easier for us. So right here we've got the Goose Gear dual drawer system. This is an older model, so I've had this thing. It's one of the first things I bought for the truck. Shortly after I purchased it, I actually bought the second hand from a friend of mine. But these things have just been such a lifesaver for organization. Both drawers are the same size. On the right hand side here, we just have a full, this is just where I keep all the tools. Just for anything that might come up. So we've also got air hoses for our air compressor to air up and air down. Hoses for our propane, for our cooking setup, and just various tools that I think we might need, but we hope we never have to use, but we have it here just in case. On the left hand side on the drawer here, this is mainly where we keep all of our kitchen supplies. So we've got coffee mugs, coffee setup, pots and pans, cutting boards, plates, plasticware, napkins, anything we can use to just make cooking and clean up a lot easier, we keep in this drawer here.
Nice.
So this here is the 𝐈𝐂𝐄𝐫 APL 55 liter. It is a dual zone, and we'll go ahead and leave you a link in the description of the video we did earlier this year of everything that goes into it. But we do have a slide out as well. We'll go over just a few more things we keep back here. Just kind of basically lives in the truck here. But we do have a 5-gallon propane tank, and I highly recommend getting a propane canister like this, or even the 11-gallon, because filling this thing up, and we'll probably be doing that later today, it'll cost maybe $5 tops to fill this thing up. And up top here is basically our attic system here, and this thing is really nice just to store all your jackets, your pillows, your blankets, whatever you want to throw up there that's soft and it doesn't have like an actual place in the truck or in a bag. Especially in the colder months when we camp, because I do stuff a few things up in the tent, but with the iCamper it's hard to pack everything we want, so we'll store all of our extra blankets and pillows in here, and it's easy to grab, easy to store, and it's nice that you're not packing everything on top of each other here in the back here. Alright, so next we're going to move on to the top of the truck here, and we'll rotate around the side so you can see the actual roof rack, but we'll start here with the awning. This here is from Overland Vehicle Systems. This is their 180 quote-unquote bat wing style. So this thing is great, extends all the way to the front of the truck, and it comes out way past the tailgate area, and with having the hatch open, this kind of acts as a makeshift 270, just the way it's set up. This thing is really durable. It's great to have when it's hot in the summertime, or if the weather turns bad, it keeps the wind and the rain out of you, so you have a little bit of extra living space. We're not out in the elements. For our tent and our sleeping system, this is the iCamper SkyCamp 3.0. This is obviously a hard shell. This thing does fold out into a king-size mattress. Plenty of room for us and more, but it weighs at 165 pounds, which is great for such a large tent. But with this raised area in the back here, it allows us to keep not only the sleeping pads that come with the tent, but we have 2 sleeping bags in there, 2 blankets, 2 pillows, and I think a bed sheet as well, and all fits in there, and it still closes pretty well without too much fight. Here's a little better view of the roof rack we got here. This roof rack is from Prinsu Design Studio. This is their Pro Rack version, so they just came out with this, I believe it was last year. Super rigid, super strong, plenty of mounting points for not only tents, but you can throw storage containers, propane tanks, gas tanks, whatever you name it, max tracks, whatever you want, you can throw up there. But this thing holds our tent perfectly, and the best thing is a flow profile. So this thing is just great for what we do. We have a light bar from Extreme LED. So one thing I like about this company is they make good quality, very budget friendly, but they have a great output. So not only is this light bar from Extreme LED, but the light bar on the roof rack is from the same company. You don't need to break the bank just to get some light bars or some extra lighting. We'll move on to the fog lights. These are from Baja Design. These are their squadrons. Great plug and play version, so it's very easy to install, and not only do they look good, they work great. Moving on to our ditch lights. These are also from Baja Designs. These are their Squadron Sports. For our chase lights, they are the Baja Squadron S2s. These things are their flood version, so they're not overly bright. They're more of just a wide span of light, so whoever's behind you, they're not going to be annoyed or blinded by it. It's more of just a precautionary thing.